Talking about Warren Sapp. He was asked from the What the Football show about Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. What's going on? And this was his answer.
We got the wrong guy at the helm. We're trying to implement something that is dead. The Patriot Way is dead. Bill Belichick even knows it. The Patriot Way is dead, and Josh McDaniels is trying to recreate something that he doesn't have the credentials for. He's not Bill Belichick. We watched him do this in Denver when he drafted Tim Tebow and ran the Broncos into the ground. He's going to do the same thing in Oakland. What did Maya Angelou say? When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Josh McDaniels is not a good football coach.
So Warren Sapp's always been a pretty shy guy, not one to mince words, kind of beats around the bush.
Yeah, kind of wishy-washy up and down,
Yeah, you never really know where he stands. He went all in on old JMD.
A lot of people feel this way. And although I do feel that people can adjust different parts of their personalities as they grow, as they get older, it doesn't seem like Coach McHerpes has really changed much. The same stubbornness that we see in his offense, if that's how he is dealing with players and personal interactions and maybe some suggestions from people on his staff or outside his staff, there's no wonder why the offense looks the way it does.
So he brought up two things. He's and I think there's two aspects here that he brought up, and one of them is what everyone's talking about. Josh McDaniels, not a good coach, not a head coach, just can't do it. But he also brought up the other side of it. It's like, look, the Patriot Way is dead, and he's trying to recreate something that's already dead. When the Patriot Way was flourishing 12 years ago, whenever Josh McDaniels was at the Broncos, he's like, we're going to recreate, something that's winning Super Bowls. He failed even then. Fast forward to 2023, and Bill Belichick, whether it's because he doesn't have Tom Brady, whether it's because he's getting old, whether because Robert Kraft's getting old, whether for whatever reason, whatever Bill Belichick that's been doing so well for so long, it's not working anymore. And so you've got McDaniels, who's manufacture a way of football that he's not capable of manufacturing. He's trying to dig up the corpse of something that he's not capable of manufacturing.
We have to take a look at something as far as if you're talking about accountability and being coached hard and stuff like that, that's nothing new, right? Basically, what you're talking about, the Patriot Way, quote unquote, is the offense that they run and their philosophy around personnel. That's what you're looking at. That offense, when Josh McDaniels got to the Patriots, that's after they had the growing pains of the early Tom Brady, where they didn't ask him to do too much. He was very, scripted. He didn't make a lot of throws, and he had one or two throws a game, maybe, that he had to go out and, gun and show his arm off and whatever. But mostly it was just, don't turn the ball over. Our defense is great. We have a Hall of Fame kicker. Just don't do too much. And because Tom Brady did that, and he still had the ability to make, bigger throws, he was able to kind of grow in that system. So when Josh McDaniels got Tom Brady, he was already that dude. Yeah. He had already won multiple Super Bowls. So I don't know that Josh McDaniels knows how to build something like that offense from nothing, because he never had to do it from nothing. He got there when he already had the pieces and he had basically the quarterback, because that's what we're all talking about here, right? Let's just, call it what it is, because ever since Tom Brady left the Patriots, for some reason, Bill Belichick can't win games.
And you've mentioned multiple times, and you brought it up with Gruden, you brought it up with Del Rio, and you brought it up a lot with Josh McDaniels, how ego is a big reason why these guys are so rigid. They're afraid to change. They just want to do things their way. And look, when you're a multi-millionaire head coach and everyone in that building kisses your ass, ego's always a factor in these things with head coaches. It's always a factor, a big one, little one, whatever it may be. It's always part of it. I think it's less than you do with Josh McDaniels, because I don't think Josh McDaniels' ego is not letting him change and adapt and be flexible. I just don't think he knows how. I don't think he's capable. We got to remember, before Josh McDaniels made to the Patriots, his entire football work was he was a graduate assistant at Michigan State for off season. That's it. All the football he knows is under Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick and the Patriots. That's all he knows. He knows nothing else. All these guys in the NFL, it's like, I played high school displaced. I played D1 football. I played for 2 years. I was, cornerbacks coach at a D3 college, and then I became an assistant here, and I went to that team and that team and that team, and I got this giant coaching tree. That's most coaches. Not Josh McDaniels. He only knows one thing, and that's under Bill Belichick. And once he's out of Bill Belichick, he's asked to replicate Bill Belichick in the Patriot way. Went to the Broncos, failed. That year as offensive coordinator with the Rams, failed. With the Raiders, failed. So I think he just doesn't have the experience to do anything other than what he's programmed in. He's a one curriculum guy. He's a guy fighting in the UFC that's only wrestled his whole life. He's like, well, why isn't his wrestling working? Because he's never learned anything else. He only knows one discipline. Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.